Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a Link to the Past Randomizer 2019 tournament here on a Link to the Past Randomizer. Tonight we have tstew14 versus Kohrek here in Game 2 of the Losers Round 2 bracket. If Kohrek does not win here, he is going home, and that's a shame because he's one of the top 32 runners of the initial group stage. I am Wolflink0370, and joining me on the mic is Tier. How's it going?
It's going great, Wolflink. It's a pleasure to join you this evening. I'm really excited about this race. It's always interesting when you see a quality runner in an elimination bracket. It's always tense.
Indeed. And just to bring you guys up to speed here in terms of how the tournament has progressed thus far, at least in Group H, if I can find my notes. There they are. Kohrek actually lost 0-2 to JTB, who was the 4th seed in this Group H. But then proceeded to beat Kohrek and loses round 1. And I forgot to get the thing there. It was a 2-0 sweep for JTB against Kohrek, but the one against Kohrek was a 2-0 sweep in return. Meanwhile, tstew defeated Kohrek 2-1, and then JTB defeated tstew in the winners final, so he is moving on. The 4th seed moving on. That's really strange.
I see JTB lurking in Twitch chat over here, trying to, I guess, wondering if he's going to be going up against tstew for a 3rd round.
And of course, tstew and Kohrek met at the other day. Very close race on that one. Very close race. tstew barely pulling ahead of Kohrek at the end.
So you're saying that this one is a standard mode, so that would be Kohrek's option to have changed from open to standard for the 2nd round then. Is that correct?
Yes. And just as a reminder for anyone who's maybe watching for the first time, or maybe has forgotten, standard is, well, the standard. We start at Link's house, we go through the escape sequence. That's normally at the start of every game. Most races you see are open mode these days, once we skip that.
Well, we're off, and I'll admit that I am a fan of standard mode. I like being, forced to go through the escape sequence. That both players are going to do all of those checks, and it's kind of a nice little warm up too.
Indeed. Now, something that has changed, and it's a very subtle thing, is there are different prize packs now, or the prize packs are different again. So instead of shuffling the items in the prize packs themselves, they just shuffled what enemies can have which prize pack. So the Hinox prize pack, which is full of bombs, could be on these guards. Or it could be nothing. And we have a hammer start, randomized weapon, to go through the escape sequence with. And that's a good one.
Yeah, hammer is an excellent starting weapon to get. Tempered sword damage, lousy hitbox, but not an issue for experienced runners, and some nice money to get you started too. That's always a pleasure to see early in the game.
Yeah, we'll easily be able to kill all these guards here.
I was watching some of the highlights from previous races, and there was one where both players were farming for Zora money at the same time. Probably not going to have to see that this race.
So it looks like the green guards are in the heart dropping pool. We do have the boomerang, so we could check the stun prize. And the stun prize might be bombs.
That would be very nice.
I wonder if that'll ever cross these winners' lines as they go forward.
Well, there's lots of enemies that you can stun. If we get to the back of escape and we haven't found any bombs, I would not be at all surprised to find at least one of the runners checking that item.
Yeah, these blue guards are on another drop group, I believe.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. If there's randomized prize pools between enemy types, you really have to check each enemy type.
Yeah. I know the guards and the ropes share one. I'm not sure about the blue and the green guards sharing one. The rats are in a different drop pool, though. So if they can't find bomb, and it looks like it's nothing but hearts in the guard pool. So if there's any bombs, it'll probably be on the rats. The stun prize is a different drop entirely from the pool.
I'm sure some players made some spreadsheets for all the different enemy groups. I'm not personally familiar with them though. I'd probably be stunning green guards, blue guards, ropes, rats, everything I can, trying to find a bomb.
And we haven't seen the boomerang come out yet since it's been used.
Nice hammer kill there from tstew. Always difficult to do with that limited hitbox. Kohrek also pulling it off well.
Oh, that's not a good sign. Cape and Zelda sell.
No, not going to really help him out at this point. And like you said, Cape and early on is always a scary sign. Makes you think I might have to do an Aga tower climb.
Yeah, which isn't an uncommon sighting in this tournament, really, if you think about it.
Well, it's pretty early. There's a lot of checks before we get desperate and we get to that point.
Mm-hmm. I'm still curious what the stun price is. We've only ever seen them kill guards with hammers, which can't stun.
Yeah, people in chat were saying that the stun prize was a heart, but I didn't actually see anybody get stunned by anything. So
yeah,
I'm not sure where that comes from.
Yeah, we have the boomerang, but the boomerang hasn't been used to stun any guards just yet.
Yeah, exactly. Boomerang, hook shot, are the two different ways to stun, and they may have different prize pools now. I know ice is a different prize pool than the boomerang is.
I think the ice is still the stun prize, though. Because it's the overall stun prize for immobilizing the enemy.
Ice and boomerang are two different prize pools. That one, I'm pretty sure about. Yeah, that's always been the way. And
I believe, did someone use the boomerang in the local passage? I guess I missed it then.
I haven't seen it. Neither player has any bombs yet. Lots of hearts dropping from these enemies though, which has been pretty good because they've been low health for quite a bit.
So yeah, gonna try to kill these rats up here, hopes that they earn the bomb driving pool. It looks like they're actually in the money pool, which unfortunately means there are no bombs available to us in Escape.
tstew skipping most of the enemies, except for that key right there that's required. Kohrek has been farming more of them. Hitting these enemies from the bottom is really, really tough with the hammer. tstew just skipping right past the spot without any bombs. Kohrek also done farming for bombs, both given up.
Yeah, both these runners have understood the item pool net well enough. They would have gotten a bomb by now. It's not the stun prize, so they're just going to move on. Because I think they saw nothing but hearts in the guard pool and only 1 in 5 rupees, and I don't think there's a vanilla prize pack that could have been shuffled that could have bombs in those prize packs.
Well, I remain unconvinced that we actually saw everything because we didn't use the boomerang actively. But either way, if they find the glove, they can get back here quickly. If the glove is in one of those back 3 chests, though, they're going to have to walk all the way through Escape again.
Meanwhile, we did get a map check. We have all 3 crystals in the light world, Hera being one of the 5/6.
It's very nice finding the light world crystals. Those are 3 pretty easy dungeons that you can usually clear early on.
Yeah, that also means it's a bit more weighted that we might have to 3 the more annoying dungeons off the table. Arm for Kohrek, and oh no!
Oh, is that the moon pearl?
I think that's the moon pearl on Aga.
Oh no!
It was definitely spherical.
Well, that early early keep meant what it meant.
And Kohrek did not check, so he doesn't know. Oh man. That last location, Aga's gonna feel really bad if he doesn't check that soon.
Well, I bet he will. Well, I was going to say I bet he will once, now that he has the boots. A lot of players, they don't check that until they get the boots. But he got the boots and still didn't check it. So this could be interesting. Wow, 8
Ooh.
bombs on the tier 1 tree pull.
Yeah, that's a really good find there. Kohrek, meanwhile, using the bomb press to get the guaranteed 1.
That was interesting. I didn't know there was a guaranteed bomb there.
Oh, there's bombos. Couple of reds. And a heart piece.
Yeah, you think Bombos would knock that little broken wall down?
And the bug catching net.
Oh, that's all we need for Aga. We have our net.
Still need something to cut the vines. And we need to be able to see in the dark.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't all the dark rooms have torches in them?
I believe the first room of Aga Tower does not have torches, and as a result, those are still considered lamp locked.
Okay, good to know. Still trying to wrap my head around all those torch locations. Some of them can be pretty tricky.
Yeah, there are torches up there, but they're not in every dark room.
Ooh, nice mirror there in the well. For anybody who's like me and a little bit confused about the lamp logic, what we're talking about is the V31 change where if a dark room has torches that can be lit with the fire rod, then the fire rod can put those rooms in logic, not necessarily requiring the lamp.
Yeah, we have seen lamp fire rod locked lamps in this seed because they are in the dark base in a pod, for example.
Yeah, another really good example of that is a dungeon like Eastern Palace, where the back of Eastern has the dark rooms with the Igors in there, and there's torches, so that you can get to. But the side of Eastern with the rectangle room where the map goes, there's no torch there, so that you still have to get to the another big key chest. You still need the lamp for that.
Of course, if you're crazy, you can be like Krista Sullivan and do dark rooms in dark Aga. I would think I was on the mic for that one. That one was insane.
I've seen a few people do dark Aga, and that is really, really difficult. Not a dark room that most people will typically practice.
No.
So Kohrek YOLOing the
Is that a
race
glove I
game
saw?
here. tstew going to definitely pick up that glove.
Yep. And we know that Aga is required with the Moon Pearl there. Oh no, it was the bow. My mistake.
Oh.
I didn't get a good enough look at it. It seems. So Bo leans them towards Eastern, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we see a South Shore play.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to do Aga anyway in order to get the Moon Pearl. You're going to be doing it, as soon as you can to get that Dark World access. So South Shore, there's a lot of items down here. Eastern, it's a dungeon that is fairly easy to full clear in the dark. It's not really an impediment. So it's, hey, might as well grab the crystal.
Yeah. 3 crystals in the Light World. Pretty easy to get that one. Here is the one we really need to pay attention to, because that's one of the red crystals, 5 and 6, that unlocks Pyramid Fairy. And that's our 3rd bottle by now. Wow.
Yeah, and it's a good point that Chet makes that obviously, you're going to want that lamp to do Aga, so there's no point, sequence breaking too much. Although I think Eastern is a reasonable sequence break. If you do the first half of Eastern and don't find the lamp, you're going to want to just finish it out. It's not hard to do.
Indeed. And we hear that familiar music that is signifying of a crystal dungeon. Stocky Sandy, we can trust our ears. tstew getting through to Mini Moldarm. Gets 3 bombs, a red rupee, the cane of Burna, a heart piece, and 5 rupees.
That's a lot of garbage.
Yeah. I mean, cane of Burna is a weapon against blind. But by that point, we're going to have a sword, so...
Yeah, we'll have a sword, and I think I would rather do Hammer Blind than Burna Blind anyway.
There's our... Ooh, that's a flute we found in Eastern. And I'll admit Hammer Blind is kind of difficult. Burna Blind, on the other hand, if you can get past the first phases, you can just win. That's a free fight, basically, with Burna.
Right. So that flute, that's actually a little scary because that opens up Death Mountain now, and with the mirror and the hammer, we can get to the right side. So there's a lot of extra locations that we can get to before needing the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, we have pretty much full access to Death Mountain. Can't do Death Mountain just yet. And it looks like the big key here is lamp locked. And Kohrek's still going to go for the big chest.
So tstew doing my favorite water walk glitch, the run, and I didn't see whether he buffered one coming out of the cave or not.
I don't think he did.
If he did, he wouldn't have come in here.
There's a sword.
Sword. What's our bottle item for the day? OB.
So that's not in logic until we find the flippers, but still nice to have. That's a sword we'll need to get up Aga Tower.
Well, that might not be the intended sword, because we have to find the flippers to put that sword in logic.
And unfortunately, tstew did not have enough money, so there's opting out. And Kohrek, not feeling safe doing the usual lift up the pot and just damage booster, gonna go ahead and just get the big key normally.
Yeah, he's got full health and a fairy flying around. Should be more confident.
Well, I mean, you mess up one hit and you're done.
So we're at sequence break point in this eastern path because we did the dark room loop to get here. So anything we find on the boss here is going to be out of logic till we get a fire source, but it definitely makes sense to get this crystal while you're here.
Uh-oh, the Igor's attacking him. Switches out of the blue potion to try to heal. Unfortunately, not enough time.
Taking the save and quit there. I think that makes a lot of sense. Come back here later on when you get more health and the fire source. Unfortunate timing.
Yeah. But now, we'll start seeing some use out of that flute as Kohrek is going to go turn it on. And if Kohrek is ever going to check Aga, he's going to do it now. And yeah, Bog Rock's over here. Get another item along the way.
Hopefully we'll see the lumberjack check here. I would also imagine that we would see back of escape pretty soon. All right, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm sorry, completely. I was thinking back to earlier when you said the bow was the glove.
Yeah,
that messed me up.
Me too, almost. Yeah, Kohrek's gonna get information that this is in fact an Aga seed. Good timing, good routing position for this. Yep, there it is. We got a very clear sight of it. That is most definitely the Moon Pro on Lumberjack Ledge. And the only way those Lumberjacks move is if we defeat Aghanim 1. So, Aga is completely locking us out of Dark World. But at least he's doing it early. So we know that nothing important is... Anything we find that's important here is either important just so we can get to Aga or get up the mount or to, well, after the fact. So we still need a sword or the flippers and the lamp. Kohrek hasn't done South Shore yet. Now something I might see one of our 2 runners doing is before going up the mountain, fluting over to check the desert region. Lost my words there for a moment.
Well, we don't have the glove to do the back, but we can check a Gina's cave.
Yeah, that's really all
about
I
it.
would use it for. That's all you would be using it for, is to check Gina's cave and check the desert ledge. And that's it. Now afterwards, you would just fly up the mountain afterwards. I can see them not doing it at the same time, but it's a loose end that you don't want to leave behind in the case it's your lamp, which we do need the seed.
I could definitely see skipping it for now because the ledge is just information. You know, you can't actually get that item, and so it's basically just the one item in a Gina's cave. And there's so much more you can do up on Death Mountain at this point.
Yeah, it's just something to consider is all.
Definitely a possibility. I mean, if they clear Death Mountain and they haven't found the lamp, a Gina's cave is going to make a lot of sense. You know, as is they both have Zora money now, so that's something that they're going to have to be able to check at some point. Kohrek might be doing water checks after this.
And well, actually, for the same reason, Zora is just one check, and as it stands, currently not a really valuable check to do. It's not in logic. We need the flippers or the Moon Pearl to get for the fake flippers.
The glove or the flippers.
Yeah, the glove is the flippers. My mistake. And yeah, it's pretty much the same boat regardless. So I think it's up the mountain we go. At least with Gina, that's got a logical reason to go there. Because, well, it's in logic. Kohrek also doing the water walk.
Yeah, now he has enough money, so I would expect that he would do the Zora check, even though, like you said, technically it's out of logic at the moment.
Yeah.
And finally gets a sword. Kohrek has been doing a lot of dashing. And when you're doing dashing and you don't have the sword, it's really, really annoying. And he's kind of having some issues with those crabs earlier on. So getting the sword is very convenient, despite not being supposed to be able to have it.
Yeah, and now we see that it is 10 arrows on the Zora ledge, and here's the check.
Yeah,
for 500 rupees.
300 rupees. Well, that's not the worst. I've seen worse ripoff than that.
So I needed 200 rupee loan. We had him 500 just to keep the change.
Yeah, these two doing one of my favorite sequence breaks, the old man rescue. I don't know why, but I just love saving that old man.
And Deadrock's being a nuisance once again. And Kohrek is going to check the desert area.
Well, I think this goes
Oh.
back to what you were saying earlier. It's, it is just one location here, but if it's your lamp, you're gonna want to get it.
Yeah.
It's just 50 rupees on the ledge, so it's just, if this isn't his progression item, there wasn't a lot of value here. Just a full heart, um, not awful.
And it looks like I missed it, but apparently tstew Red talked to us at the hospital and told us that the green pen was Thieves Town. I did not catch that.
I didn't see that either. A pretty good dungeon,
Well,
I think, to be
there's
green
the map.
pen. There it
5-6
is.
at Swamp, Skullwoods, Turtle Rock, Pendants. Thieves Town is green. And this means we could potentially have a fire rod. Let's see.
Well, I love Green Pendant Thieves Town. It's one of those dungeons that's pretty easy to do early on, and it's not that hard to full clear it. So getting the Green Pendant there is a lot better than, say, Green Pendant Turtle Rock.
All right. Compass and Big Key here in the early chest of Hera, going on up.
This sword is making everything. I mean, both of them sequence broke that sword, and it just makes things so much easier. They really should be doing all this with the hammer right now.
We have a question in chat. Fry say GG fire rod required for logic? Yes. You have a torch that's out of reach of the lamp. But if the big key's not right side, we don't need the fire rod.
That's a good point, and you can technically do that with a bomb jump. It's a tricky one time, but it's really, really fun to watch it when people pull it off.
Yeah.
So both players up here in Tower of Hera. tstew slightly deeper into the dungeon, but I just see them doing the same path. I mean, full clearing this dungeon. They're not going to be able to do the basement, so hopefully that'll be the key.
Oh,
that was
messing
the
up this
second fall.
Yeah, tstew's trying to do one of the more trickier bomb jumps. There is a somewhat consistent setup here.
Yeah, he's using positioning that's he drops the bomb and then moves to the left of it. That's not the standard position.
There he goes. He got it done then. Usually I see the spin shred in which you poke yourself over the pit, but release your spin, then pull yourself back, and then the moment you release the spin, you're on the right pixel.
Yeah, that's what I see most often. What tstew just did there with the bonk is, the more traditional strat when you're first learning the game. I think he was actually trying to do that originally. Maybe he was just grabbing the wall instead of being able to do the bonk. But either way, he's got it now, and he's up the Moldorm. So if Moldorm drops an item, then we're good for the basement. If he drops the key, we already have the key, so there is something in the basement. Is it map or compass?
I don't know if we saw the map yet. I think we did see the compass on the lower floors. Yep, there's the map. There's an item in the basement.
All right. So item in the basement we can't get without a fire source.
Yeah.
It's kind of good news because we're looking for our fire source, so we know it can't be down there. The lamp could be down there if we find the fire rod somewhere else.
Alright, so both runners with their first crystal of the match. Only 26 minutes in. There's Quake! Alright.
Yeah, I mean, there's I think about 7 items over here. We don't really have much more we can check. We have the back of escape. Trying to think of where else we can go.
Well, we can do the back of escape.
We can't do back of escape.
Well,
sorry, going in the front. We can't do that now technically, right? Because we don't have the lamp.
I don't know.
I don't think you get the light cone again.
I don't even know the throne's out of your way.
Yeah, I think you only get the light cone on the initial time. I'm not sure I've ever actually seen anyone have to walk through there again. But Spiral Cave, just rupees and more money down here in Paradox Cave. So you got 5 more chests appear at the top. See, this has got to be the lamp, or some progression anyway.
Let's see, flippers. There's
There
the
we
lamp.
go.
So flippers, and there's the logical sword. So both of them have,
Finally.
so there's our Aga Axis, folks, and because they sequence broke it, they'll have Master Sword for this. Doesn't speed up the fight too much, but it will speed up the combat on the way up.
Correct. By logic, the game intends them to use the cape to get through the barrier, but because they sequence broke that sword, they can actually slash it now.
Indeed.
And they can definitely get to the back of Escape now with the lamp going through the front.
Well, again, I'm not even sure the altar is out of the way.
I think it stays open.
I don't remember. Well, regardless, it's time for the Aga climb.
Nice standard NMG strat there from tstew. Killing those guys. Don't want to waste all the arrows.
Alright, so I think this is one of the dark rooms here. Yeah, there's no torch in this room. There are torches here in the maze, which is one of the more tricky rooms to navigate.
Yeah, like you said, if the first room doesn't have torches, then effectively the entire area is logically landlocked.
And this would be the second room, although it's not much of a room. And this would be the third. This is probably the hardest dark room in the game. There's so many pits that can throw you off and disorient you. So Kohrek's only a couple rooms behind here, but I think Kohrek is in a bit of an advantage to even still.
Yeah, I think that so Kohrek has checked Zora, but other than that, and also checked Gina's cave. I think those are the only 2 locations that he's done that tstew hasn't.
Yeah.
And they both died in Eastern Palace.
Yeah. So while it seems that Kohrek is behind, Kohrek has not left as many loose ends as tstew does, which could come into play when tstew's in an item hunt mode.
Absolutely, both of those are kind of one-off locations, or not one-off, but out of the way. Definitely one-off for now, anyway. Later on, when you get more items, you'll be able to loop them in with things.
So we already have the game going here, but how many blue wells are we gonna get? So far, it's none.
I'll say 3.
2's probably the safe bet. There's one right there. Patterns will be the same for both of these Aga fights, just out of fairness.
So we are going to be able to check the pyramid item, but that's basically all we can do at this point. And we're going to have to save and quit and go grab that moon pearl.
Yeah, we pretty much have to go to the lumberjack tree first and foremost. Our moon pearl is on the lumberjack tree. After that, I wouldn't even know where to go.
You can still check. You can get the pyramid item if it's something of value.
I suppose that's also true. Third blue ball. So this is a guaranteed 3 cycle. Common in 3. And the worst part is we don't even get the health refill for killing Aga. Because he forced us to be a bunny.
Just a heart piece. That's. I was gonna say save and quit, but mirror and flute, that works. I think a save and quit is actually a little bit faster because you kind of want to start at the sanctuary. Yeah, we're talking a second or two.
Yeah, I think there's a little
mirror
bit.
block.
I think there was a little bit of lag on save and quit these days.
That's a good point because they changed the title screen. You have to refactor everything. If you mirror bonk though, then that's costing even more time.
Yeah, you can see that usually they would reset immediately, but no, it takes about a second to load.
Well, if anybody has a stopwatch, they can go actually time it because Kohrek did the save and quit and tstew did the flute. All right, there we go. Dark World access for tstew. Hype Cave is the first logical point, I guess.
And we should mention that with the reason why Kohrek had to mirror before saving and quitting is because of an interaction between the mirror and Aga, the one being defeated. That interaction being if both Aga 1 and the mirror are both quote unquote acquired, the save and quit point on top of the pyramid is then active. And you won't be able to save and quit and start at any of the light world locations until you save and quit in the light world.
Yeah, tstew taking the both of them taking the portal. I thought that was actually a little bit quicker to knock down the hammer peg than the run all the way up here. I guess this is faster.
There's the Dark World check, and here's Hype Cave. 3 buffs to start off. A shield, heart container, money, and 5 rupees. Not a great Hype Cave.
Third 300 rupees. And they're definitely good with money at this point. Ooh, Kohrek, he's making the pod first play.
Yeah, we'll see if our track world mark Castle Tower first is done. But in the meantime, another change that is done, in addition to a lumberjack being open, is that the overworld and the light world is a lot scarier. That's the best way I can put it. There's a lot of different enemies here. For example, if Kohrek mirrored here, he would be over near the southwestern side of the eastern area, as we call it. And there's normally just a few Octarchs there, nothing too scary. But now when we've agged down, it's full of guards, and some of them are the hyper-aggressive guards that will aggro as soon as they are on screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And those red ones, they are much faster than you are. So, they do a lot of damage. It's nice that they picked up the blue mail, but they're still at 6 hearts. So this can be a little tricky.
And of course, one of the other changes is to the overworld is that the lumberjacks that are cutting the tree have left mysteriously. We actually don't know what happened to them. And one final change that may not seem too important, but it's all important all the same, is the light world, the pole trees have now changed location. Oh, magic powder from the digging game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have seen races where people have gotten to the dark world and they've have then found that they used all their money and they couldn't get the Kiki, they couldn't get the Zora, and that was where the progression was. And if you don't know where all the pool trees are, sometimes farming for rupees or bombs or other key items that are in those tree pools is a little bit difficult because they do change locations.
Well, only the light world ones ever change location. It is entirely dependent on Agatha. So if you don't have ever defeated the Ago, the one in the castle will always work, for example. And there's the flippers, which puts the Master Sword in logic.
Nice. Nice to wrap up that sequence break.
Now, what else? So we saw the powder
Ooh.
there.
That was close. So yeah, so the powder, that's one additional check we can do in the light world, because we do have the hammer, so we can get to that in sequence.
Yep.
But as Chet pointed out, a lot of the all the portal locations are locked behind rocks, so we don't have the gloves yet. So the Aga is our only entrance into the Dark World.
Yeah, so we gotta explore around here for a little bit.
Yeah, and without the hook shot, we have no west Dark World access. We can't get to Thieves Town area. Pod is really our only option. We can't get up to Catfish without the lift upgrade. I
was half expecting the hook shot to show up as you were talking about it in the dark basement.
It's usually how it works. I'm trying to help him out.
Good old commentator's blessing. Never activates when we want it to. It's probably right here. Case in point.
Yeah, so let's find out what's behind these bow lock sections here. Both players, they have the bow, so we're obviously not doing any sequence breaks here. But I do love sequence breaking in this left side with
There's
the potion glitch. That's one of my favorite glitches. Oh, that's where we got the flippers. I just missed it. All right, so we got our glove finally. That opens up a lot.
Yeah, it opens up the rest of our Dark World access. Also opens up the back of Escape to be checked, finally.
Well, I think coming out of here, we just have Helmasaur King left, and I haven't been watching maps and compasses, so I don't know whether there's still an item left, but we have the mirror, so we might as well finish up Escape coming out of this.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Or Eastern, you mean, but yeah.
I meant Eastern. Yeah, when you go a year without commentating, everything gets messed up.
I can understand that. It happens to me quite a bit.
I was looking through my logs, and December 23rd was my last one. So I'm like, I better do one before December 23rd.
And there is, in fact, an item on Helmasaur King. I saw a map in our inventory.
Excellent.
Alright, turtles.
Nice turtle kill from Kohrek. Turtle room that's probably my least favorite dark room to do.
Alright, Helmasaur King going down. Mask is broken, gets a little faster, can do attacks in tandem.
Very careful with the health, but manages to pull it off there. Very difficult to get those hammer hits in. Really, really difficult.
Yeah. And there's the blue boomerang. Some would argue the superior version.
Absolutely.
But the red one now actually has a lot more use. We won't be seeing it at all, of course, at least in this race. Zero, have you familiar with the new glitches that we've discovered?
I would say that I read the release notes and I'm aware that there are new glitches, and that's the extent of it.
Well, one of them is splash deletion, which you basically overload the particle effects that you can just do fake liver whenever we want. And the magic
Really?
boomerang, ironically, helps with that.
Well, I've watched a few races and I haven't seen that yet, so I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, we're not going to see it anymore on this particular race, but I'll definitely keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, another one is the Harapot, which is skipping the basement, which none of the runners going to be doing because we didn't find the hook shot. And interesting, the Stalfos are in the bomb dropping group.
So I was, I think it was the spring tournament of 2018, where midway through the tournament, the Misery Mire spooky action glitch was discovered, and that was, huge because it actually affected the NMG speedrun times, and it just blew my mind that we were still finding new glitches, in a game that has been played this often, and the fact that even more have been discovered in just the past few months. It just continues to amaze me.
Indeed. One thing we can't get past, though, is these red Igors, though. Need the bow for that thing.
To be honest, I really wouldn't want a glitch that let us get past those Igors. The bow is required for so little. Let it be important. The bow is a classic Zelda item. I would not want it to be glitched out of existence.
Well, even if then, we would still need it for the pile of darkness puzzle, which... Good luck getting past that.
Very nice, clean, classic Armos fight. 5 rupee reward. A little bit disappointing there, but that's a second crystal for Kohrek.
Third crystal, even.
These two... Oh, the Tower of Heroine. I need a higher resolution on my tracker. So
It's
third
fine.
crystal, these two not far behind. Kohrek has a lot of options now. Gonna do his hub cave check. So T2 went out a little bit out of his way to knock this out. Kohrek went directly to pod. So we can't do. I guess Thieves Town is probably the. Now that we have the gloves, either check in the back of Escape real quickly, but probably the Thieves Town Village Outcasts would be the next item dense area that we can full clear. What do you think?
I think hold off on the back of the Escape for a little bit, and then tidy that up with doing Graveyard Ledge and Kingston, because we can do those from the other side.
Yeah, the only issue there is it's generally nice to do that loop if you're doing the northern loop and with Catfish, and if you're doing Escape, then you lose your Dark World access.
Correct, finding only 20 rupees.
I'll apologize if I've been mispronouncing Kohrek's name. Even when the tournaments had pronunciation guides, I would still mess them up. So we're just gonna have to accept that as reality.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, to be perfectly honest.
I figure it's better to make an attempt rather than just say right side runner or left side runner.
Exactly.
All right, here's our escape check for T2. I'm just really curious at this point, just because we could have had these items if we had a bomb drop.
Yeah, which we didn't get lucky, unfortunately. And the 3 items we left out were 20 rupees, a heart piece, and 20 more rupees.
All right, that's not so bad. That would have been much more significant if there was like the second glove upgrade was back there.
It mattered a little bit in the early game if we could get there, because that was merchant money. Or
Yeah,
that would have been merchant money.
I think this is our first magic bat check over here on Kohrek side.
Yep. Another red rupee. And tstew here is going to be checking water checks. And this is a check that neither runner has done. Hobo coming up here.
Yeah, they both wanted to use their water run, to get up for the waterfall. I actually like doing the hobo check because it's such a long run.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that they do it that tstew did it like this instead of checking it on the way back from Pyramid to Eastern.
Yeah, so tstew, is he gonna check Zora, round out this water, or nope? He's going to.
Oh,
he's doing
wait.
magic bat now.
Wait, no, I'm dumb. They didn't have the flippers at the time. My mistake.
Yeah, but they were fake flippering.
Well, yeah, but I meant with using the mirror spot in the dark world. Just check it faster.
Right, I know what you mean. Yeah. That's really I always forget that spot, and when you route it in, when you have the flippers and the mirror, it's always cool to see some really efficient routing of that spot.
Indeed. So Kohrek getting lucky here.
It's our first Skullwoods check, and unless we find the fire rod, we're not going to be able to full clear this dungeon. But these checks are so quick to do. I almost feel that they're overworld checks to some extent.
In all honesty, I don't think either one of our runners wants to see the fire rod this seed. Because all fire rod means is, hey, you have access to one, maybe two pendant dungeons. Do you really want to do them?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we already have bombas, so we can full clear Ice Palace, and as you mentioned, the odds of needing the fire rod for Gan's Tower aren't that high.
For all we know, the fire rod could be in Ganon's Tower. What a treat that would be. And it's in one of the first chests, so we can make sure we don't miss it.
It's fun doing fire rodless seeds because you're not gonna have to do Trinex. You're not gonna have to do Skullwoods. So it's kind of nice. They're a little bit of a treat.
Depends on who you ask. But there is room for trolling in the seed with the fire rod. They could put something important in Laser Bridge, which actually, wait a minute. Cadence Samari and Hookshot. That's all we need. And of course, maybe the third medallion, which at this point, if it's not, oh no, we also need Titans. I almost forgot about that as well.
Yeah, we definitely need the mitts for Ice Palace and Mire, and just generally. I think you can get the Laser Bridge without the fire rod.
You can.
If you get really perfect key layout.
St. Garden's King's Doom. Always a fun time seeing that appear in weird places.
The Kohrek doing all these North Dark World checks. After this, it's basically, I'd say, head to Thieves Town or just finish this off with a catfish check. While you're up here.
I can see him going one of two ways: either back towards Thieves Town, checking Bumper Ledge while he's at it.
He checked Bumper Ledge on his way over.
Okay.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Now he's
not taking the portal.
He's actually doing what I would be doing.
This was what you wanted to do.
Kohrek, are you reading me or something? What the heck?
I don't love this just because you lose your portal. I would rather go to Catfish or just go back to Thieves Town and stay in the Dark World.
Well,
But hey, whatever.
I mean, it would take another couple minutes, but you don't really lose your portal. Oh, you jumped off the graveyard.
Yeah, yeah, he jumps off the ledge. That portal's gone.
Oh, there was a way you could have saved it. Could have mirrored in front of the graveyard, then walked back around, and went back in.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, you'd have an extra mirror. It was definitely possible. It was an option, but
Yeah.
he's doing his hobo check. So unless tstew heads over to Catfish, I'm going to say probably that's going to be an orphaned item for both runners. You know, unless we get into an item search, because there's no other time that it's convenient to route that in.
Yeah, I think tstew is actually in the better spot for it because he hasn't done Zor yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, two locations. Unfortunately, gets the bonk there.
So where is Kohrek going next? I'd say probably Thief's Town.
This has got to be Thieves Town now. I mean, there's nothing else of value to do. Maybe not the dungeon, but at least the Village of Outcasts area. Those are 3 items on the outside we can check very quickly.
Yeah, but I can also see him doing the first 4, and then depending on how many items he finds, do the rest.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. tstew not taking advantage of the Zora Catfish link up. You know, we no value on Zora. We know that it was just a 200 rupee loss, so he's making a good play as far as that's concerned.
Nobody likes messing with the fishes, it seems.
Yeah, both runners in the same spot with the same checks basically, except those 2 one-offs that Kohrek did earlier.
Yeah, Kohrek is thinking of going to Thieves Town. He wouldn't open that if he wasn't thinking about it. Stu gonna give us a quick preliminary dive.
I think you always open that just out of muscle memory, if nothing else. Big key in the first chest at Thieves Town. So we got 3 more in the front 4 chests here. That's very common to at least check these 4.
Compass. That's a dud. There can be no items in the front. It's very annoying, but it can happen. Tempered sword.
That's a nice upgrade.
Fine. Yeah, very good find. And the last chest has a small key. So 3 items in the back.
Yeah, tstew mirroring out. He's done.
That was all you really need. We'll see if Kohrek makes the same choice.
If nothing else, that tempered sword was definitely worth the time it took to check these 4 locations. It's a huge damage upgrade. Very, very, very much a time saver.
Yeah, saves you time on a lot of fights, especially Ganon. And Kohrek is sticking with Thieves Town.
Well, we don't really have too many items. I mean, we have what's open. We can't do Dark Death Mountain without the myths. Same with Ice Palace and Misery Mire. We can't do Desert because we don't have the book or the myths. Actually, don't really have that much open. tstew doing the Gina's check. This is one of the 2 one-offs that Kohrek did earlier.
Actually, wait a minute. No, there's something here in Thieves Town. We know it. We've seen everything else.
Well, the Spike Cave, that's a one-off. They could do Spike Cave. That's in logic now. Hammer and both invincibility items. Catfish, which they can do. That's in logic.
And that's it.
Hera Basement. They could get back to now.
I mean, if they're gonna go to Hera Basement, you're gonna do Hera Basement and then Spike Cave.
Yeah, I've front of swamp, the first chest in swamp. Actually, most of swamp they can do.
Yeah, they can only do the front half. So possible.
But I like what Kohrek is doing here because Thieves Town, it's a really fast dungeon, and this is also the green pendant, so that's an extra item you're getting. You know, he has the hammer, so you can get the big chest item. Of all the choices, this is a good one.
Fire shield. T2 is gonna check swamp.
Yeah.
Kind of a risky play to make. Could not find the hook shot and be forced to double dip. And there's the map, so I think, yeah, Blind has the last item.
Yeah, no, I have no problems with the swamp play. I mean, there's enough locations that you can check here in the front. If you find the hook shot, you can continue on. If you find some other progression, then it's, you know, a pendant swamp that your opponent, you know, might not dip for a long time. So it's definitely not a bad play.
Yeah, there's one issue. This is Red Crystal Swamp.
That makes it all the more payoff if you find something here, because you can assume that your opponent is probably not going to dip it.
But we haven't found anything too important here, and Kohrek gets a very clean blind fight. And just a piece of heart, so nothing in here of note.
Oh, I really need a higher resolution tracker because I look like a red pendant swamp instead of a red crystal swamp. But yeah, this is red crystal swamp.
Yeah, we already established our pendants are Skull Woods, Thieves Town, which is green, and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, special thank you to chat for correcting all my mistakes tonight.
So something I can see Kohrek doing here is checking this, and then maybe going to Catfish. And yeah, you can see here's the aggressive guards.
Oh, there's payoff. We got the mitts in swamp at the compass
There's
chest.
the hook shot
And
on Green
shot.
Pendant Vernon.
Oh my gosh. That's gonna hurt tstew. I mean, it's great for Kohrek because that motivates him to go to swamp. But tstew, having just found the mitts in swamp, has so many other locations to go to before Pendant Thieves Town. Very, very good move for Kohrek.
And now we
bad
just
for
need to find a
tstew.
Katie Samaria. Katie Samaria for Go Mode, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, we
Without-
might need rods or something else, but that's an interesting development there.
It only depends on whether Misery Mire is Ether or if it's anything else. If it's Bombos, we already have the medallion. If it's Quake, we know where it is. It's on Floating Island. Ether is the only unknown medallion. And...
But I mean,
it's also
Kohrek is... Sorry, go ahead.
Also, Ether is the only thing that is keeping Ped alive if it is a Ped seed on top of being an Agassiz.
Kohrek is, you know, with the hook shot in hand, is going to be able to full clear this in one go, and you know, with the gloves coming out of here, is going to be able to do Misery Mire, Ice Pels with Bombos, get over to Desert now with the mirror. So it's just going to be Crystal Dungeons for a while, I think, on Kohrek's side.
Yeah.
I think tstew will probably do all those same Crystal Dungeons because the hook shot isn't needed for anything other than, you know, finishing up the rest of here. So they'll probably be doing the same thing, but having that hook shot, that's a big thing.
Yeah. And we know and both runners have dipped these down, but Kohrek made the call to stay behind, and it paid out. It was not... The hookshot may not have been in Thieves Town, but it was definitely on that green pendant Blind was holding.
Yeah, T2 done for now. Going in, to do Mire and Desert. Two things we can. Well, we can't full clear Mire until we get that cane, which is probably going to be like right here. It always is.
I mean, potential no mode if it is.
Of course, we haven't seen the medallion yet either.
There's Ether!
All right, so Mire's going to be Ether. That's the way this works.
And Pet is dead. And it's Ether!
The game is. I've seen that happen so often lately. It puts the medallion right next to the dungeon.
Why couldn't it have been Kane Samari though? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Kane Samari for potential go mode. Once again, we may need the fire rod for right side GT if that's what the big key is.
Well, we haven't seen the Turtle Rock medallion. We're assuming that we don't need it.
Well, we know where all three are regardless.
Where was Quake?
Quake is on Floating Island.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And even then, at this point, we are perfectly safe. Bootslock Desert. Because we know Turtle Rock has nothing. The only thing Turtle Rock could have is the fire rod.
Right, that's a good point.
We can't even enter it without the Cane of Samaria. Which is looking to be, all intents and purposes, our go mode item this seed.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I hadn't thought the entire thing through, but you're right. The only thing that Turtle Rock could have that we would need would be the items to complete Turtle Rock.
Or get to right side GT.
No, I finding the hook shot on the green pendant is definitely the game changing move of this particular race.
Agreed.
All right, another crystal for Kohrek. She's to hope that was a death warp.
Looks like it was. Getting his health back. Alright. Now where is Kohrek going?
He's showing off his hook shot.
Oh wait, he finished 5-6 crystals. He's gonna go check Mirror Fairy.
Well, that's a good check.
And if the Cadence Bar is here, we are in no mode.
Yeah, now I mean, Kohrek has access now to Dark Death Mountain, and with the hook shot, there's the 6 items up there. But I would imagine, you have Ice Palace and Desert Palace. You'd probably do those first.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, of course, wait and see. But there's one nicety here about taking the Super one back. But in an Aga Seed, you get to use the Aga Warp to make the trip incredibly short.
Alright, I definitely trust Sakura with regards to pronunciation, so I'm gonna try this again. Kohrek? Is that how I'm supposed to say it?
That sounds about right, yeah.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you for that, Saku.
And nothing in desert except for the crystal. And Kohrek here, getting the information that it's ether, we'll be getting ether here, and we'll know. Ooh, he might die, Misery Mire, hoping for the Cadence Mire to be in there.
Definitely a possibility. I like that, he sees ether as a momentary disappointment and then gets ether.
Yeah, this wouldn't be a bad play. But no, gonna do desert first, makes sense.
Tstew's doing it, so we'll know if it's the right play or not by the time Kohrek is ready to go in.
Yeah, if tstew finds the Cadence Samaria, it's no mode. If Kohrek finds it, pending fire rod requirement in Ganon's Tower, it's go mode.
Yeah, that's gonna be really. I mean, I would love to see this come down to a fire rod locked GT big key, just because that is a really fun bomb jump just to see people do.
Yeah,
And,
I would be.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say that I saw a race where they were basically in sync, and one person did that bomb jump, and the other just had to go on a fire rod hunt. It's one of those things that you almost never actually have a need for.
I mean, I can see runners going full left in this seed, in hopes to find the fire rod and then do the bomb jump.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely go full left if you don't have the fire rod.
So with the temperature we have from Thieves Town, as well as the hook shot on Green Pendant, this has turned into a fairly fast seed. We're only about 60, 70 minutes in now.
It's weird that tstew. I'd never seen anyone actually do that. They go into the top right room in Mire, but they don't get the invisible chest. If you're looking for the cane, I think you'd want to check it.
The spike room chest?
Yeah.
Probably saving that for last so we can loop around to get it. And also, I think there is a little bit of key logic in place as well. I'm not even gonna bother understanding the key logic here in Misery Mire.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. If you're gonna check every other location, you're gonna have the keys that you can unlock that after opening the big chest. Assuming that the big key wasn't there, which I'm assuming it can't be if that's what he's doing. But nice quick landma fight from Kohrek.
Yeah.
Correct.
tstew's found the big key was in the lobby. The big central room. So I can see tstew going to big chest, go left one room, check that chest, go north, check the spike chest, and then go to the boss. If he finds the Cane of Samari in here.
It looks like Kohrek is going to be making that Mire dip as well. Oh, has to check this spot first.
tstew out of the dungeon, probably found both items, so it's not in Misery Mire. He's thinking ice. Not a bad call.
It's a crystal you can fully clear, so you might as well. Although it might have made a little bit more sense to do this before Mire, just to avoid that double dip in case the cane's in here. And then, of course, someone's going to say then they could have go moded ice if they found it in Mire. So it's 6-1.
Kohrek making an interesting call here, going up to Death Mountain instead.
This is what I was saying earlier. If you're looking just for pure item density, this is your best bet at this point in the game.
Yeah, ideally wants to go mode ice, go mode Misery Mire.
Nice hook shot clip. Something that unfortunately tstew can't do.
Hard piece. Another hard piece. So we know it's not Misery Mire. It could be here in ice. It could be on the Dark Fountain. It could be Smith Chain. It could be Catfish still. We haven't seen that yet.
It could be Spike Cave. We haven't seen that.
This is probably going to be Spike Cave. And it could be... It can't be on the pedestal, but it can be on the book. on one of the tablets.
Right, but we don't have the book yet, though, so we would have to find that.
Nothing in Hookshot Cave.
So unless he wants to, no point in grabbing Quake until we know we need it, which we don't. So I guess just Spike Cave, and then we'll be done up here on the mountain.
Well, there is, of course, the bottom chest of Hera, but I don't think he's gonna check it.
Oh boy, yeah. I don't know.
If he was gonna check it, he would have mirrored in front of Gans Tower.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, nobody walks out of Spike Cave. But yeah, I forgot Hera Basement. That's a good reminder. T2 having to use bombos for all of these freezers without that fire rod. A little bit slower, but I really like coming into Ice Palace with bombos, just not having to worry about magic on the boss.
Kohrek's following suit. We have got 2 items here. We saw 3 bombs in the upstairs chest and 10 arrows in the big chest. I'm not sure if we saw the 3rd item yet from tstew.
This is tense. I mean, the best thing that could happen for tstew would be for the cane to be in one of those really difficult one-off locations that would possibly give him the motivation to go back and do Thieves Town sooner rather than later. Still gonna have to get lucky and do Thieves Town and then immediately go to that one-off that has the cane.
Now, hang on a moment. He doesn't have that many keys. Has he not done the right side yet?
I don't think so.
And he didn't go right beyond. I think Cold Stare has the key and we missed the 3rd item.
No, he's gone right side now. Oh, no, he's just getting... Alright, yeah, I guess you're right.
So, the Cane Samari is not here in ice, what we can interpret.
Alright, because Cold Stare is going to be the key. Oh, I didn't see the compass on that item check.
No, there's no map. Did he?
Yeah, no map.
That's strange. He's missing a key and he's missing the map.
Well, he's got the temper sword, so it's gonna be really quick. We'll know that we'll know what this guy's holding.
I think he went straight to didn't go to the right side.
Kohrek is going right side, so.
Whoa!
Yeah, there's the map.
There's the item on the right side. There's an item on the right side. I forgot. tstew doesn't have the hook shot. Right side is hook shot locked.
Well, you could bomb jump it, but you're right. Technically, it's hookshot locked. All right, so Kohrek is doing the right side right now, so we're gonna find out. But tstew not gonna go back in and attempt the bomb jump sequence break. So if the cane's over here, this is another location that he's not gonna see for a long time.
I think that seals his fate if it's over here.
Yeah, I think that's safe. Can't hammer dash the moles.
There's the missing key. So this chest here, the big chest, is the item. Or the big key chest is the item. I didn't see what it was.
Yeah, I'm watching on the Twitch restream because I missed it on the commentary stream. Froze. Gonna find out what that item was. Kohrek aside. Oh no, it froze on that as well. So I have no idea what he got.
Oh, there's the third item. It's half magic.
Oh, okay, I got.
Whew. So
Oh well, that was scary. I like half magic. It's very clear that you got it.
yeah.
All right, so if tstew finds the cane, then he's gonna know that he doesn't have to go back there. But you know, he could find the hook shot and then still dip that looking for the cane, depending on where it is. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want him to have to suffer through that.
I don't want to find the cane out, actually. Because you know what puts in my head when I see have a cane?
Turtle Rock. Oh!
Rock. And there it is. It's on the Smiths.
You did that, Wolf Link.
Well, we are now in no mode. tstew needs to get the hook shot off of Green Pendant at Hospital. Has to go fight blind for that. But as soon as Kohrek checks those Smiths, that's game, set, match. At least for this set series.
I mean, fortunately,
actually,
like
no. I spoke a little too soon. It's not gonna be game, set, and match. It's just gonna be game.
There would be a game 3 if Kohrek wins. I mean, fortunately, we know it can't be in Turtle Rock. Well, I mean, we know that because we know where it is now, but tstew
doesn't.
Yeah, I was just saying he knows where Quake is. So hopefully we don't find Fire Rod in the first chest here in Turtle Rock.
We're hoping for a Fire Rod locked Turtle Rock here, yeah.
So for anybody who's not caught up, we have the hook shot is on the Green Pendant, which is Thieves Town, which Kohrek has, but tstew doesn't, and the Cane of Samaria is on the Smith. That's probably the go mode item for Kohrek when he does those Dark World Overworld.
Yeah, and of course this is still a speculative go mode. The actual go mode might be the Fire Rod because GT Binky might be right side. We don't know then until we check. Where did that bird go?
Yeah, the duck just totally dissed him. I didn't realize that the bird had free will.
And it's almost to enter Turtle Rock, so tstew is gonna check it. And this was what I was afraid of.
Well,
thankfully, if the key logic works just right, he can go down here for a long time and waste a lot of time. Kohrek, meanwhile, looks to be heading directly to the Smiths. Does not know it yet, but that will be go mode.
Yes, this is the play.
Oh, okay. tstew is thankfully.
Well, he's only one item he can get here. So I think he's still gonna make that TR dip because it's just his first chest he can get to without the hook shot and the 2 in Super Bunny Cave. Kohrek, got the frog in hand, doing hammer pegs. You just gotta turn that frog in.
Yeah, if tstew gets tstew doesn't know it, but he wants to see a non-small key in the first chest available in Turtle Rock, and definitely not the Fire Rod. If he sees anything that lets him go deeper into Turtle Rock, he's gonna be in there for a long time. For nothing.
Well, I mean, all the subsequent keys have to line up pretty nicely as well.
Then,
but there's the cane, so that's probably go mode. Is that what we're calling it?
Bo mode, yeah. We need to figure out what the Ganon Tower big key is before we can call it. Kohrek will probably bomb jump it after checking everything else. So this is the moment of...
Yeah, moment of truth for tstew.
Yeah, if this is a small key, it could be bad. Oh boy, here we go.
I mean, practically speaking, though, this isn't like the real issue for him. And the issue is that he has to get the hook shot, which is in Thieves Town. So there's so many places he can go. Turtle Rock is just one of them.
Yeah, second chest here. This has to also be a small key. So we're hoping that it's not. Uh-oh.
Oh.
That opens up as deep as Mimic Cave now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not the direction he wants to go, but I mean, he was already in a bad spot with hookshot being where it was. And Kohrek is back. So we got about a 1 minute difference between the two streams. Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna resync them now.
So we have to wait to find out what nightmare tstew has in Turtle Rock.
Oh boy.
This is really straightforward for Kohrek at least. Just has to clear the rest of Meyer. This is the last crystal. And then, like we've been talking about this whole race, it comes down to where is that Ganon's Tower big key? If it's on the left side, which it probably will be, then he's good to go. If it's on the right side, then it's either a fire rod hunt or most likely a bomb jump to light those 4 torches.
So, if tstew needs to get out of here, he needs to see a non-vanilla bait key. That's the next major step. Going through this Turtle Rock. And there it is. Thank goodness it's the map. Now the only worst case scenario is if Mimic Cave has the fire rod. Because then he might go all the way to Laser Bridge.
Does he have... So Mimic Cave has the fire rod. He could also go back to the beginning and do the right side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. You were skipping a step in my head. I had to work through it.
He'll go back up, go get the big key and whatever other items up there, and then go back down to Laser Bridge, hoping that the hookshot's there. This can end up being a really big bait.
Yeah, Mimic Cave is going to have the ice rod. That's the way it works.
There's the big key for Kohrek.
Yep, Misery Mire big key. That's all he needs. So he's going to take the left side shortcut to get to the boss.
And tstew finds in Mimic Cave.
Oh, that's just mean.
The mushroom, which could be the fire rod, but he'll be out of the dungeon, so that is actually good. That is the kind of the best case scenario for how the key logic was.
Short of the first chest not having a key at all, I would agree with you.
Yeah. If the key logic was completely kind and gave him like the map to start with, that would be the absolute 100% best case scenario. But
it's
given the key logic,
of the worst.
Cold sword.
That's just, I don't know. I wouldn't want the gold sword at this point.
I wouldn't want it either. So Kohrek using the cane splash to break that. So not doing the spooky action glitch. I think the spooky action gets messed up. You have the crystal catch from Desert, but I'm not sure if he could have fixed it.
So where's tstew is probably doing catfish, I think.
Yeah, catfish. He's gonna do everything he can to avoid these down, but that is unfortunately the wrong play.
Yeah, he could finish up Misery Mire at this point, but he has the item, so there's really no advantage in doing it now versus after he finds the hook shot and can do Swamp.
Alright. Picture's going down.
Very nice, clean fight. Kohrek's aside. That's crystal number 7.
And Vitreous has the small key that locks the rupee room in here. An optional small key, if you will. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the 7th crystal. And, well, you all know what time it is. We have a game we like to play. We have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower that can have our Ganon's Tower big key that we need to ascend the tower. Only one chest can have it, though. Give us a number in chat. Which chest do you think will have it? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be hopeful. I'm gonna say it's Hope Room.
I'm gonna say number 19 through 22 because I really want to see the right side bomb jump. I love that bomb jump. Or a fire rod hunt.
I can understand that. Some people want to see the right side. We'll see what Kohrek decides here coming up.
He's definitely going to go left side. I mean, if you don't have the fire rod, you just go left side and you hope. All of left side is the hope room in this scenario.
The actual hope room, of course, is the first 2 chests on the right side.
Normally, yes. In this scenario, nothing on the right side is hope room.
Makes me wonder if there's a nickname for tile room and it's called the spare room. Because it's the last place you absolutely check.
Yeah, chat points out that fire rod obviously can be in Ganon's Tower, but I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be that easy. I want this to be a little bit of a challenge. And tstew doing the bottom of Hera. I mean, when you're at the point that he's in trying to find the hook shot, this makes as much sense as Green Pendant does.
Yep. But he still has half a dungeon to do over in Thieves Town. This is someone quick check my comparison. Alright, guesses are closed. Hope room to start things off. Chests 1 and 2. First chest, compass. Second chest, 3 bombs. No small key, so left side wouldn't have been an option even with fire rod, or right side would have been an option, sorry. Onwards to the torch.
I don't want to see the fire rod here in the Hera basement either.
Chest number 3 is the small key. Even though the torch is technically not chest. Details.
Details, yeah, they don't matter. So it's only a tournament.
3 bombs in Hera basement. Chest number 4, blue potion. Good night to have. Chest number 5, 20 rupees. Number 6, another small key. Chest number 7, the shovel.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take fire rod at the dig spot. That's not so bad.
Chest number 8 coming up here. Room with a couple names. Firebar room. Map room. Today, only a small key.
And tstew is doing Spike Cave, which we have already seen. This is not going to be anything he needs. He's running out of locations before he has to go back to Thieves Town.
Accidental map check.
And Kohrek just constantly using that hookshot showing off.
Yeah, plenty of hookshot strats here. Just number 9, right over there, the fire sink room has the 4th small key. I think that's all the small keys and chests. Yeah, we have one in the torch, one in the dark magician room, all the nostalgia room, map chest, and that chest right there. So we have all the small keys that are in chests.
tstew, I think, making the Thieves Town play here.
Hey, wait a minute, I think the logic... does that mean it's not on right side? 10, 11, 12 is red mail. 13 is bombs.
I like that red mail effect. That's a nice color.
I know that if there's a small key on right side, the big key is definitely there. I'm not sure if the logic states that it can't be there if it's the other way around, though.
There might have been a time where I knew the key logic, but I have long since forgotten it.
I don't know it either. I'm gonna assume that it still could be right side.
Well, we only have 4 locations left, so I'm still hoping for no fire rod.
Chest number 14 coming up here. Bob's torch. Or Bob's chest. Fortunately, Bob is looking a little healthy today. It's not there.
3 left. No fire rod. No fire rod. No big key. Come on. No fire rod. No big key. And T-Stew back in Thieves Town where he needs to be.
But is it too little too late?
Well, it depends on where the fire rod is. And if Kohrek can do that bomb jump. 3 chests. No big key. No fire rod. Piece of heart.
20 rupees.
Rupee and
20 rupees.
Rupees.
It's a. Oh, but wait.
tile
We have
room.
1 chest left. The tile room could have the big key today.
Oh, no. Please don't have it.
This is unprecedented. Chest number 19 is gonna be here. The tile room.
This is 17, right?
19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, it's 18.
It's 18. Okay. So I do like this glitch. The use the cape and hold it onto the wall. It doesn't use your magic. It's a really neat glitch to remember.
So this will be chest number 18. I might have misspoke the number. My bad.
I thought you said 19, but no big deal. Either way, no B key, no fire rod. That's my hope.
What a twist this seed would be if this was a tile room seed.
Yes!
It's not. So, 19, 20, 21, 22 coming up here.
All right,
and
so
Kohrek is setting up for the bomb jump.
So here's the setup for this room. If anyone's not familiar with it, you go into this top room, which you otherwise never see, because you need to fall off a ledge and come out this top door. And what he's going to do is he's going to clear out this room with all the enemies, and he's going to light the bottom torch first by doing a bomb jump across the gap, which is really tricky. You have to avoid the conveyor belts, the fireballs, and line everything up perfectly. And we'll get to see a really neat strategy here. It's really tight on time. It's pretty hard to do, but it's always fun to watch.
Misses it up slightly. I think the bomb detonating was a little bit off place.
So that was actually a little bit easier because he has the fire shield, but you still have to avoid the hand.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was hopeful that it wasn't there. Meanwhile, we did get the blind down on T2's side. Yeah, I was hopeful that this was not going to be a fire rod seed, but players can't be choosers.
Well done for Kohrek. That's a fun thing to see, and you so rarely see it.
Indeed. So, 19, big key.
Come on, check the other 3 shots.
20 silver. 21 ice rod.
Wow.
So, based on what we know, the fire rod can only be on the purple chest, as we get the coat shot from tstew, or catfish. I think those are the only 2 spots left.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it has to be before Ganon's Tower. We know it's not in Turtle Rock. So yeah, they both had that. No, neither of them did purple chest.
Neither in purple chest.
I guess if we got the book, then it could have been on the tablets, but we didn't find the book.
Yeah, it could still be in the tablets. Definitely could not be on a pair. Should have been on pedestal.
Maybe we'll get lucky and one of the runners, in their 20 minutes after the race, will have gone and found it, and they can tell us in the interviews.
Or we can see it on the credits with the fire or the dig spot. It's gonna be a very strange instance whenever that shows up.
But yeah, props to Kohrek for doing that really cool bomb jump. and not needing the fire rod. And tstew, he's in go mode now. Even finishing off the second to last crystal dungeon. It's not enough at this point, but at least he got the item he needed.
The silvers being where they were, though, that was a prime spot for him. Oh. Man,
yeah, I'm glad he opened those last 3 chests.
I'm also glad he opened those last 2 chests, to be perfectly honest. What a seed this was to be. Also, we never announced the winner of that guessing game, did we? That was just 19 with the big key?
That would have been 19. Yeah, 19.
And I believe you guessed the right room. But we did
I guess the entire room, which is kind of, the commentator's privilege of picking more than one spot.
But yeah, it was Automation 9000 who got the guess right first.
Yeah, very nice. We I would love to see a game 3 between these two runners, because otherwise, is an elimination round. So assuming that something crazy doesn't happen, Kohrek is going to be able to give us that game 3.
Yeah, combined with what we saw from all of our runners this far, we haven't seen the big chest of Ganon's Tower, which can't have it because the fire rod was locking the big key. We haven't seen catfish. We haven't seen purple chest.
We did see catfish.
Oh yeah, what was there?
Yeah, just arrows or something. It was garbage.
Yeah. So it's purple chest. The purple chest they had the fire rod, or the purple chest had the book, in which case it would have been on the tablet. Regardless, it was overworld. We've checked every dungeon.
Well-timed fairy there.
Yeah, taking advantage of the heals there, for sure. Purple chest was checked? Was it?
No, but they didn't check it because they both got the cane after the smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither of them went back for it.
Oh wait, no, they said it was a 20. Now I'm confused. What items did we miss?
I mean, if chat says tstew checked it and I just missed it, then that's perfectly fine. You might have gone back there, in the hookshot hunt.
Did they ever check the big chest of swamp? It's probably right there.
I don't know.
Anyway, there's Saga down.
That was a nice Saga too.
That was a nice 3 cycle there. I think if tstew checked every other location besides that, then that's it. It has to be. Or the shovel, which we'll find out soon enough. It's one of the two.
So where was the shovel?
Shovel was in Ganon's Tower, but it was not fire locked.
Alright.
Anyway, it's time for Kohrek to fight the thing.
That would have been a jerk move to put it on the shovel.
That is a good question, Ganon. Why are you surrounded by incompetent fools? You hit your green vent. You hit the hookshot pretty well. And the fire rod. We never found it.
I always ask, why don't you just use the Triforce and say, create me a world that doesn't have a link in it?
Well, to be fair, he didn't know a link would be a threat.
He knows right now.
Ooh, again, trying to get a fire shot off.
Nice double.
Gets the torch glitch. One
Yeah,
silver
torch
there.
glitch is easy to get when you don't have to hit the fire rod.
And get your G's in chat for Kohrek, who has tied this game up. And is finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 21 seconds.
Wow, GG's Kohrek. That was a fun race. That tire race came down to that Ganon's Tower. I'm sorry, that green pendant check. Just deciding to full clear Thieves Town made all the difference. And let's bring him in and say GG's.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring him in. Kohrek, congratulations on pulling through here. GG's to this race.
Yeah, GG's. Thank you.
Ooh. Man, that was really close. That fire rod eluded you for quite a while.
Oh, it eluded me the entire time. I was even like watching the end of this. You guys were talking about it. I actually went to look for places, but I think you figured it out. I don't think it can be anywhere but the Swamp Big Chest.
Yeah, or the dig spot, which we're about to find out soon enough with the credits.
Nope. Nice piece of heart there. So that's
Well, of course you would know.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be Swamp
Thanks
Big
for
Chest.
checking.
We were like, wait, did we ever check the big chest? We literally saw every other location except for big chest and the swamp and the dig spot. Oh, but this is the win you needed. This is keeping you alive in the tournament just for a little bit longer. And it's strange because you're the top seed of this group.
Hey, this is a tough group. You know, it's lots of close matches. I had some close losses, and we've had some wins, and we've had it's been up and down. I got to play all three people, so it's going to come down to one final game, and that's the way Rando goes sometimes, right?
Yep.
So it'll be a fun time.
And speaking of fun times, unfortunately, Tsu did not have a fun time with the seed. Has chosen to forfeit the race officially, but a good race all the same between them. It really came down to you two going and doing different things. And yeah, Lifeboy feels some love again. Shovel was a heart. So Tstu was in Thieves Town first. You both entered Thieves Town roughly the same time, about a minute apart. Tstu chose to leave after the first four. You chose to stay, and as you can expect, that was the big difference in this race because you found the hook shot.
Yeah, I intentionally made Thieves Town the last of my dense checks in the initial Dark World just so that I could feel comfortable going deeper. It's Pendant Thieves Town. It's always such a hard decision on what to do with it, but that's why I did that north route where I got Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb first, and at the back of Escape I finally got in there, and then did the South Dark World, and basically it was there or Catfish or maybe Spike Cave. There wasn't much left, so that's why I was comfortable going to the back at that point.
It was the play that made the difference. I have to ask about the Ganon's Tower though. I love seeing that bomb jump to get to the right side chest. Is that something that you've practiced, or is this the first time you had to do it?
Oh, I played tons of Entrance Shuffle. I do it all the time. It's the first time I got to do it in open mode. That's kind of exciting, but yeah, I can do the left side GT bomb jumps too, but they're a little bit trickier. But yeah, bomb jumping into weird places, that's definitely an Entrance Shuffle, skill set that just occasionally shows up in regular open mode or standard mode rando.
Actually, it wasn't even open mode. You chose to make it standard. And that was quite an annoying escape sequence. You didn't find any bombs.
Yeah, you get 2 prize packs and a couple chests, and if you don't have one of the bomb prize packs, you're kind of out of luck. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Well, we were wondering with the red boomerang if you checked the stun price or not. I don't know if you guys did. What was on it?
Yeah, I checked it. I checked it right away. I stunned one of the green guards in the Uncle Tunnel, and I hit him with a pot. It was a heart. So yeah, no luck there.
That confused me a little bit because they dropped hearts normally as well. So I thought you just hit him with a hammer.
Yeah, I missed that as well too. I was going to ask about the stun prizes, but it's good that you at least checked that. And we were really worried that some key early progression was back there in escape, because it was a long time before you guys found that first med upgrade.
Yeah,
Alright, so
definitely.
We are now joined by tstew. Good effort here. GG's. And I'm not sure if you heard us just now or not, but we were just discussing that it really came down to both your decisions regarding Thieves Town. Kohrek deciding to stay in full clear, whereas you left after the first 4. But good, strong play all the same.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do Thieves Town. So once I found the myths, I just kept following them and tried, just didn't work.
Yeah. So this will come down to a game 3, which I'm personally excited for. You guys had a really close first game. I was hoping the second game would be even closer, but wasn't the case tonight. But tstew, I have to ask you, this is now your chance to mix things up. You're going to give us a little taste of what's to come, or are we going to find out on race day?
I think I'm gonna add map compass.
Map compass shuffle in standard mode. Okay. That's going to be fun.
That's a fun pick. It adds the possibility for a few more dungeon items. I like that. I look forward to watching that race.
Yeah, pretty much means that most of the bosses is guaranteed to have an item. Adds a little bit.
So I just want to ask Kohrek, because I think chat fixed this, but just while you're here, how do you pronounce your name?
You got it correct.
Yeah, we had a little issue in remembering how to pronounce it, but that's fine. But yeah, GG's to you both. I am excited to see how this final little game between you two shapes up. Good luck to you both on that game, whenever that may be. Actually, I know I have the schedule here. Let me take a look at that. That game will be tomorrow, same time.
Yep. Should be a fun time.
Indeed. So yeah, in the meantime, folks, make sure to give these two a follow for putting on an excellent race for us tonight. Also, make sure to follow my co-com BQ, our tracker Donnie Ted420, and our restreamer Kippy00, as we are here on a Link to the Past Randomizer. Make sure to follow Link to the Past Randomizer and Link to the Past Randomizer 2 through 5, so you can catch more Link to the Past Randomizer action. And of course, we are also featured most of these races on Speed Gaming, so make sure to go and give Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming's 2 through 6 a follow as well. But with that,
I'll just add that there's a race on Speed Gaming 2 at the moment. Big Dunka versus Bombchu Missile, and in 2 hours also on Speed Gaming 2 is Philion versus Ganon's Gone Wild. So there's a little bit more to go on tonight. But other than that, I'll extend my thanks to the runners as well, tstew and Kohrek, for a really fun race to watch. Special thanks to Wolflink for holding my hand with his commentary, getting back into the scene. I appreciate the assist.
There is also one more thing I want to add.
Sure, go ahead.
Here. Ding Dong versus Bombchu Missile, which is currently already in progress, is a game 2, so that could be an elimination game as well. And also, game 2 is also game 2 between Philion and Ganon's Gone Wild. And if you are a night owl, Dr. Marty O versus Mark Nivison is tonight at 2:50 in the morning on Speed Gaming. That is going to be a round 3 game 2 match in Group X.
Well, that's afternoon for somebody. And I just wanted to say my last thank you. I didn't get a chance to say to Donnie for tracking and for Kippy on doing the restream.
Indeed. So from all of us here, folks, at the Link's Best Randomizer 2019 tournament, I, of course, have been Wolflink0370, and we shall see you all next time. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.